Hey guys, welcome to my dining room table from 2022, and probably not the kind of food you expect me to be showing on screen, but these were all the snacks that we prepared to take with us when we went to Universal Studios. And again, this was February 2022. So we left early. We always leave early at the airport to get down to Florida, so we have like a full day when we get down there. Of course, I'm recapping this in 2024, so I might be a little fuzzy on some details, but we did still have to wear masks at the airport and on the plane at the time, which I didn't mind because I'm like, I'm not getting sick on my vacation. And we flew down Spirit. I've never had issues with them. We always go pretty. Actually, I think we do just get direct flights with Spirit. So we went from cooler end of February Midwestern weather to nice clear Florida weather, which at the time I think might have been hanging out in the 70s with a couple 80s days. And when we landed, it was not even 10 o'clock. Like, sure, by the time we got our bags, it was like 10:30 or whatever. But we were ready for our first day at the park, and I already had my Jurassic Park shirt on because it's Universal. And I definitely think I was trying to take a picture here and didn't realize I was filming, but I don't know. It took us a second to get our bags, which who knows why it was delayed, but it was already like past 11 before we even got them. But we weren't like on a schedule, so that was fine. Once we got our bags, we just took an Uber directly to our like hotel motel, which there are a bunch of them right across from that main Universal entrance. So we were able to walk there, and I think it probably took us about 20 minutes from our rooms to the like entryway. But it's a really nice walk, and the weather wasn't, like I said, too hot or anything, so we could just go in, and pretty soon we were in the heart of it all. This was my first time at Universal Studios in America, and already I could kind of feel a different atmosphere than Disney World, which granted, when we had gone to Disney World, it was way more like restricted because of the COVID capacities. So coming into the park and there being like an actual crowd was not quite overwhelming, but like, oh yeah, this is actually how busy they are. So it was about lunchtime, like a late lunch. We went to the Harry Potter area. I got the pumpkin juice, which is my favorite, and Terry got a butterbeer. I already forgot to film the food, so that's my bad. But later in the day, we went to Voodoo Donuts, which is super hyped and decadent. Like, that was my creamsicle donut. It was good, but it was a lot. So we had our donuts and we walked back towards the hotel through the City Walk, which is like really cool at night, but also so very crowded. The next morning we got started maybe a little bit later in the day, but we planned 4 days, so 2 days at each park. So we didn't have to like rush around and do everything. The weather was fantastic. Like, did I want more sun so I can just bask in all the vitamin D that I needed from Midwest winter? Yes, but it was great. So the second day we actually went to Islands of Adventure, which is the second park, both of which are accessible from that main plaza that we walked through on the first day. And the atmosphere definitely has more theming to it. I think between the two parks, this one was my favorite. The other one still felt very like static and studio, which makes sense because of its Universal Studios. But Islands of Adventure was more my style and kind of more of a Disney style, where each area was very much engrossed in its theme. The Dr. Seuss area was super fun to just walk around and look at stuff. You had actually this area wasn't, it was like a Atlantis. It was something. It wasn't open. I think it was being remodeled at the time, and there was like a restaurant down there, but we had to walk through it to get to the other half of Hogwarts. This was the Hogsmeade area, and this is where they have one of their newest coasters, and that was Hagrid's motorbike. And I apologize if I'm like not getting the names of things exactly right because it's been 2 years. It's easy to look up, guys. It's basically Hagrid's motorbike. And I think the ride wait time was about 2 hours when we got in, but because it was so new, we were like, yep, let's just get in the line. Of course, in the line, I saw that it said, you're gonna go backward, and then there's sudden drops. and I could see the end of the track on like the far side, and I was like, So I was nervous, but I loved it so much. After that, we went to the castle and we got on the rides there. We went over to Jurassic Park area when we got to meet Blue. You know, we gotta go say hi to my favorite Velociraptor. And this is me attempting to let them film. Oh god, I did film this on video. Oh no. Now we can just watch us be awkward on video for like ever. Yes. Well, here's that precious moment of us posing in front of Blue and just being awkward, and yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Suddenly it's nighttime, and I don't know if that's from the same day or the next day, because we spent 2 days at Islands of Adventure back to back. But look at how awesome this area is at night with all the lights, the comic art, just, it's beautiful. Hey, look at it. It just looks so much fun. There's the Hulk coaster there, which we did ride on the next day, which for a non-coaster person, it was a lot of fun. All right, so like I said, we rode on Hulk the next day, which Hulk is one of their rides where you have to put all your stuff in a locker before you even get into the queue, which sometimes causes problems for someone like me who needs an adult. And then we got to see the area in the daytime and a little bit more of the old cartoony stuff. I forget if it was Toontown, I think that might have been the name, but you had like Betty Boop, you had Popeye, you had all these different like comic, like Sunday comic characters. And we got some food over back in the Jurassic Park area, which was delicious. I don't remember what Terry got over there, but my chicken was fantastic. This was one of the main restaurants in the Jurassic Park area, and if I go back, that's where I'm getting my food. And after we had lunch, it was time to finally attempt the Velocicoaster, which was very new at the time. We have our little Velociraptor decorations everywhere. And even though I'm not a coaster person, like, I definitely spent that whole 2-hour wait being unnecessarily nervous. The one thing I will say about the newer coasters at Universal is they have a launch system. So instead of you building that anticipation up a hill, it just launches you into it, so it takes out a good chunk of anxiety. Props to that. It did rain later in the day, but I think this was the first day that it really rained while we were there, which compared to when we were there in August, it rained a lot more in August than it did in February. But we still had a great day. We left there before it got dark just because we had kind of done everything. And the next day we were back on the other side, the Universal Studio proper side, I guess. We got to check out a few different areas. Like we went and watched the Bourne Stuntacular, which I love watching. Like the shows, and especially stunt shows, are always fun. So we just kind of did a reverse circle, which basically meant we hit up like the Simpsons area right after the Bourne show, and then eventually made it back around to Harry Potter, which was super crowded again. Big surprise. I really appreciate the architecture that they put into this. Like, again, atmosphere, huge thing. And there's a dragon. I'm not gonna tell you how long I waited to get it on film, but it wasn't just me. Everybody was waiting for it. So, wait for it. Wait for it. Yes, you guys just don't get to enjoy the toasty bits, which when it was like semi-chilly-ish was really nice. While we were at Harry Potter again, Terry went to Ollivanders and got himself a wand. All of the wands that they have there are interactive, so they'll have like that little sensor on the tip of them, and each wand comes with a map for both park areas, one on one side, and then obviously like we were at Diagon Alley, so we had the Diagon Alley side, but the other side had Hogsmeade, and then it shows you on the map where the interactive locations are, which is really nice if you are like us and you're like, well, we got to do them all, even though we couldn't go back to the other park without a park hopper, so missed opportunities. But we had enough fun just going around Diagon Alley and trying to accomplish all these different spells. You can kind of see on the map there's like different directions of how to move your wand, and then hopefully, yes, I did record Terry giving it a try. So you do the thing when there's like a sensor somewhere in, it's usually like a shop window, or something set up outside, so you have to do the mark, and I think that's the sensor there right above my reflection. It's not always gonna work the first time, but eventually it does. It's only really awkward when kids start lining up and you give them a turn because you haven't done it, and then they do it right away. Then yeah, it's, it can get embarrassing. But overall, the trip was both very busy and exciting and relaxing, and I think that's because we had, we were able to do 2 days at each park, so we didn't feel rushed to do everything in a single day. But eventually it was time to fly on back. But how am I gonna argue with going back home to my 2 lovely puppies? Like, I was hoping that they would be super excited to see us after 4 days, but I'll just let you guys see what happened. Thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of this clip, and I will see you in the next one.
Atreyu! Is that my boy? Atreyu! Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Hi, bud! Oh my god! She can't get on you. Hi, bud. Oh. Yes, we're back. We're back. I missed you too. You were being so good. I thought you would just bowl us over.
Wow. Hi, bud.
Well, someone's excited. Oh.